Please don't spoil the movie.
By adding your own soundtrack. Hi, my name is Judy Hops.
Who's that? Hi, my name is Martha May Huvier.
And welcome back to
Please don't spoil the movie.
The movie. Podcast by sisters who love each other, especially around the holiday time.
Upon occasion. Who the fuck did you say?
Judy Hops.
Who's that?
She
sounds like a loser.
No, she's not. She's the first rabbit to ever join the police department in Zootopia from the movie Zootopia.
Oh, I've never seen Zootopia.
It's so good. So good.
I haven't seen an animated movie in like 15 years.
Well, maybe we should start with Zootopia. Zootopia 2, if it's not out already, should be coming out soon. But it touches on some real, racial issues, and it's really good movie.
I heard you say that before. This isn't my first time hearing you say that.
Such a good movie, and it's like fun.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna ask me who my character is?
The Grant on culture.
Well, what's up? What's been going on?
Nothing much. It's holiday time.
It's the holiday season, baby. We're getting deeper and deeper into the holiday spirit, the holiday cheermeister.
This time I might actually be excited for the holiday time.
Why this year?
Well, for December at least, we have Christmas Eve off, Christmas and the day after Christmas, and for New Year's we have the day before, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and the day after New Year's.
That's why you're excited, because now you're getting a feel of that 2-week break.
Oh yeah, a little touch of it. Luckily, the governor, because I work for the state, the governor, he gave us those
days off,
those extra holidays. Yeah, he proclaimed it or whatever. I was like,
so do you get the whole?
Must have pissed some people off.
Wait, so you have Christmas Eve off?
Yeah. So I have to work Monday, Tuesday for both those weeks.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Damn, that's disgusting.
Yeah, but I don't imagine the vibes.
I'm off. First of all, I have off. I don't get off until the 22nd. And then I don't go back until like the 4th. And that pissed me off because I was like, why don't we have the 17th through the 4th off? That's crazy. So,
well, you spend your time looking for a what?
A new job. I really don't know what life will be like though without. I look forward every year to these holiday breaks, and I don't know how life will be without them. I can't live a life where I don't have 12 days off for Christmas.
I feel like it just depends when you work. Because like Lauren, her old job, even though she worked like crazy, like no one was expected to work for like 2 weeks. Even though I'm sure I don't know if they technically had off, but like it was just like no one's working. So don't come to work. In some places you might get a lot of PTO. Put that in your wish list. Place with the office of PTO.
Right. We'll see.
Or you might work for a nonprofit, and no nonprofits don't. Just gotta go.
Yeah.
What we need is more money. Or you can join the school system. Who knows?
Absolutely not. I will not continue the life of working in education. Absolutely not.
It's hilarious. But yeah. This holiday season, I will also have to start my job hunt.
You're trying to find a new job already? You just got this one.
I'm trying to switch careers.
Oh, right. That whole chestnut.
Yeah, unless my creative endeavors take off, which I don't see that in the immediate future. But in the future, yes.
In the future, why not?
Yeah, I had to recently I was on TikTok and I was like, I need to find a psychic. I need to know. So I made an appointment, and I have an appointment with her in December. So I'll let you know what she says.
Oh, okay. Who is the gal? Who's the lady?
Mama Pop Peepas. I don't know, some lady on some old New York white lady in New York.
Why? How do we know if she's credible? Why this lady?
Well, no, people made TikToks about her. Like, I love her.
Oh, okay.
People made TikToks. I was just.
How much is she charging?
It was like $350 or something like that.
Oh my god, you got fucking money. $350 on a psychic? That's crazy. The most I'm willing to do is $50.
Oh yeah, no.
$350? Oh my goodness.
I'm in a midlife crisis. I'm going through things.
You can't be in a midlife crisis.
Know.
You just got married. Well, first you need to start with getting out of that hick town that you're in. Life doesn't start in Baton Rouge. I can tell you that right there.
I know that's right.
You need to take your farmer husband and get the fuck out of Dodge.
But if I had more freedom, I could stay in New Orleans. I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna be in New Orleans for now.
Yeah, well, hence emphasis on you saying New Orleans and not Baton Rouge, because you ain't gonna get nowhere in there.
I have more creative options in New Orleans. You're right.
I'm not saying New Orleans. I'm saying Baton Rouge. You keep on saying New Orleans. Jade is saying Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I have more creative options in New Orleans.
Oh, I thought you were saying I have. I did not take it how you said it. Yeah,
I'm putting positively to New Orleans. I'm on the same page with you. I'm all New Orleans. I'm not.
Thank you.
I don't. I have no loyalty to the city.
Yeah, you've been there long enough. How are you and your husband? How's the married life? You've been married approximately 1 month as of yesterday.
Oh yeah.
It's y'all's 1 month anniversary. What did y'all do to celebrate? Absolutely nothing.
He was at work.
He's at work.
And he wasn't texting me back. I have to tell him about that because I called him. I was like, you've sent me 5 text messages today. What the fuck? And that was on our anniversary. I'm reminded when I see him today on our anniversary. You ghosted me. That's crazy.
Yeah, what the fuck is that about, Chancellor?
Right. Got a divorce lawyer on speed dial. Don't make me call him. Just kidding. What did I say? Oh yeah, it feels weird though when I call him my husband. Dad called me. He's like, I was talking to your husband. I was like,
your husband. I know.
That's crazy.
Every time someone like asks, "Oh, how'd your sister doing?" I was like, "Yeah, her and her husband." And I'm just like, "Yeah, it's crazy." Husband.
It might take. Yeah, I don't know when it's going to get normal.
When I was talking to Chauncey about the Pelicans game, I was like, "Oh, well, can my sister bring her husband?" I was like, "Oh my god." She was like, "Yeah, she can bring him." I said, "Oh my god, not her husband."
Her husband, girl. Crazy.
Excited
for this weekend?
Guys, I don't know what I'm gonna wear.
I was thinking that too. An outfit, and I guess to wear heels.
You wear heels? See.
Or booties.
Probably boots, not heels. Yeah.
Boots on the ground. Have you seen any shows lately? Have you finished the Murdochs?
No. Me and Mom might finish it tonight or tomorrow. We got 1 episode left because, for whatever reason, Hulu is not dropping these episodes all at once. And I'm just like, why? What is this? The point of you being a streaming service, the original concept behind all you motherfuckers, Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, Disney, y'all were supposed to be dropping episodes all at once. Y'all were supposed to eliminate the week-by-week episodes in the commercials. And when I'm watching the Murdochs, what am I getting? Week-by-week episodes and motherfucking commercials. We've reinvented cable.
Hulu original? Is it a Hulu original?
It's on Hulu, yeah.
Is it a Hulu original?
Yes.
It was created by Hulu?
Yes.
Okay. You don't seem like you're sure about that.
I am. Where else would it be on?
Well, if it was like AMC or something.
No, it's a Hulu show.
The AMC.
It's a Hulu show.
It's like so crazy that they're like, it's such an old case. Like, y'all could drop it.
Right. We know how it ends.
Yeah.
We've all listened to the podcast.
It's not a secret.
But yeah, what about, I'm trying to think if I watched anything else. I don't think so. No.
I watched
Frankenstein.
What's the movie? Watched Frankenstein. That was nice. I'm about to watch it again. You get to be great. It was really pretty.
Frankenstein was really pretty?
The movie was really pretty.
Oh.
I said Jacob did great.
Oh, Jacob
Elordi.
Elordi. The tall, hot one. He's so hot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I like the way they did it.
I would date him as Frankenstein. That's how hot he is.
And so with the Mia Goth, get in line. He already had a girl.
Isn't her name Mia Goth?
Mia Goth, whatever.
I don't know her.
She didn't say my name.
She don't know your name.
Yeah, she didn't know my name. So, But yeah, I like how they did it because it was like the first half was.
Don't spoil it because I do want to watch it.
No, it's just not spoilable. It was like the first half was from Frankenstein's point of view, and the second half was from Frankenstein's monster's point of view. And I was like, oh, that's it.
Well, have you ever read the book?
No.
That's how the book is.
Okay, well, I have never read
I read the book when I was in high school, and I was stunned to find out. This blew my mind. I was stunned to find out that Frankenstein is not the fucking monster. That Frankenstein is the creator. I was like, yeah, that's crazy, yo. I thought that.
I feel like it's just
that mind boggled me.
I feel like it's something like through history, people like just stop clarifying on. Yeah, because I don't think it's crazy that you thought that. Because I also thought the same thing.
Right. Well, I think because
also Frankenstein.
I think in like the movies from like the 60s and stuff, like the monster was called Frankenstein.
It was Frankenstein.
So that's why people think that.
And it's also a monstery name.
Yeah.
Frankenstein's a perfect name for a monster. But yeah, it was really pretty. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really, really pretty. And he did great. And I saw interviews saying how he just really felt like he finally found his place in Hollywood. And I thought that was cute.
I saw that too. And I was like, you've been hot for a while, but okay.
And I was like, Saltburn? Like, come on. What? I don't know.
I was like, even Euphoria.
Right, Euphoria. Like people think he's. I think the kissing booth thing. He's been trying to.
He's been trying to remove from the clutches of Kissing Booth for years. Right. No one thinks about that movie. I don't know why he's still hung up on that. You know what I really don't like though? I don't like when like actors who get their start on like movies like Kissing Booth and like Riverdale, or I feel like what's that boy? Robert Pattinson, I feel like he does that with Twilight. Like, stop acting like you are now too good for the show, movie, TV show that put you on. Like, stop doing that. Like, stop downplaying the film that you were in that gave you the career that you have now.
I feel like stop being embarrassed about it. Like people,
that's where I can't stand that.
It was corny. Yes, it was corny, but that's what you were making. Right? People loved it. So calm down.
And this made you who you are. You got your next role and the role after that and the role after that because we all saw you in that one.
Right. Just be happy where you came from.
I don't like that. Yeah.
And also that's so rude. Robin Pattinson did amazing in Twilight. The movie, I will give him that, is corny and cheesy. But his acting style in it, to me, made the movie. He was the only good thing about the whole fucking movie, personally. And I still haven't seen all of them because I think they're trash. And I love the books. I also saw Predator, the Deadlands, or whatever it's called. That was really good.
When are they going to stop making those?
Okay, so this is different. So most of the Predator movies are from. You know, it is. Let me tell you why. So all the Predator movies are from the perspective of the human. This was the first Predator movie from the perspective of the predator. Like we got to see his home and why he does this, and his dad and his brother. And it was a really good. It was funny. I don't wanted to cry. Funny. It was like because he would like he was talking to like for example, he was talking to a robot from Earth, and some of like the words he was saying, like she was like, I don't know, it was just like he would repeat things and I'm like, he doesn't understand what he's saying. You know, it was like cute. It was like stuff like that, and they had like a friendship, but it was like he was trying to overcome because he was like we're from the perspective of the runt of the family, so like the dad had all these kids and he's the smallest one. He's trying to prove himself to his dad and stuff. And he's trying to, and all the predators do, they always go on a hunt. Is all the predators. So every predator movie is like they're on a hunt. So he decides to go fight the biggest and baddest things. And it's just nice to see, you know, how he changes and his worldview changes. And I think it's a really good movie. And when it comes on streaming, we will watch it together and I will force you to sit there and watch it.
Yes. So does he eat people it's not like in this?
He doesn't eat people. That's the thing. They don't eat people. They just so happen they don't hunt humans specifically. They hunt anything. And sometimes they choose to hunt humans.
That sounds like they eat people.
They don't eat people. Their purpose is not to eat people. Their purpose is
to hunt them. What's the difference? They're killing people.
But they're not eating them.
Okay.
they're not doing it.
Oh my god, they're scalping them. They're removing their flesh from their bodies.
They don't. Well, you've seen it. You've seen a couple things. That's usually not how they operate. That's not their goal. Their goal is not to be gruesome. Their goal is to. And I will say, like, I feel like they've often seen as the villain, but a lot of movies, if they don't see you as like competition, or like if you're just a girl with a stick, they don't leave you alone. They're trying to find the strongest man in the woods with a gun who's trying to like fight them back. They're not like they want to fight, kind of like they want because there's a one Predator movie and it's like a Native American girl back in the day, and she finds the Predator and she's trying to prove herself to her family and like hunt and like usually they hunt like animals like whatever. What do they hunt, like bison or whatever?
There you go, bison.
Like whatever, lions and shit.
They don't hunt lions, they hunt bison. You had it right the first time.
No, but in this movie they were trying to kill a cougar or something. They were trying to kill some kind of like fast animal. But anywho, she's trying to prove herself. And then she stumbles upon the Predator and she's like tries to tell her family like there's the actual Predator and he's bigger and badder and everything. They're like, girl, sit down. And then so she tries to like confront him and like fight him, but he's just like move away, little girl, because he doesn't see her as like a threat. And then at the end of the movie, she becomes a threat and they fight. But it's really a movie. But they only fight people they deem as threat. Like their goal is to bring home a trophy, basically. And they go to other places. So it's just the only movies we've seen is when they've chosen humans to be the threat. So in this movie, he's not hunting a human. He's hunting something from a different planet. And they're not really evil. They're just like they just be hunting. Per se.
Whatever. If a motherfucking alien came from the sky and started hunting the biggest, baddest motherfucking humans that ever lived, they would be considered evil.
I know. It's just like, I mean, yeah, like if I was getting hunted, I wouldn't say they're inherently evil. I don't know. They're not like Pennywise or something. I don't know, like an evil entity.
All right.
They're just funny looking. I'm talking.
I'm not being sold on your propaganda.
And I just want to say Predator and Alien movies are my favorite, and I hope there are more. And they don't need to stop it. And hopefully there's a number 2 because the way it left off. And I love the perspective of the Predator. That's all I gotta say.
Is that all you have for us?
Yeah. You want to tell us about the movie you were talking about?
Speaking of trying to belong and fit in and be a part of something. See how I did that there?
I see.
Think loneliness. Think emptiness. Think the holiday season. Think Christmas. Think being alone on Christmas. Think toll booth worker. Think hot dog stand man who will never get your order right. Think railroad tracks. Think coma. Think falling in love. Think being accepted by this family who has no idea who you are. Think engagement. Think fiancé. Think I love this guy's brother. And that brings us to, drumroll please. While you were sleeping.
While you were sleeping. Jay, I almost started to watch Sleepers in Seattle.
Oh my God. I feel like this is the second time you've done this. You did this with something else.
Oh.
You did this with another movie.
Wish Upon a Star.
Oh, and what you was trying to watch?
I wanted to watch Wish Upon a Star. You was trying to watch something else.
No, you was trying to watch something else.
No, you was
No, you were.
No, yeah. Because we watched Wish Upon a Star. What's another wish?
I don't know, Simple Wish.
Or maybe you know what it was? I wanted to watch A Simple Wish, and you wanted to watch A Wish Upon a Star.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was.
And you were like, this one? Because I wanted to watch the and you wanted to watch Wish Upon a Star. That's what it was. But no, While You're Sleeping, Sleepless in Seattle. They're basically the same thing, right there.
No, Sleepless in Seattle and While You Were Sleeping are not the same thing. They're two completely different movies with two completely different concepts.
And I'm glad I verified because I was like, let me make sure which one she said. Because when you said While You're Sleeping, I was
because when you said I've never seen this, I was like, you've seen this movie. You've seen this movie.
I've seen parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was like, I've never seen this. I was like, you've seen it.
I feel like this is the first time I've sat down and really paid attention and watched it. For sure.
That's crazy. because
But
I
I
love
have
this
not seen
movie.
Sleepless. I have not seen Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah,
I
it's
for
a
sure
little
haven't
bit
seen that
before
one.
our
That's what I
time.
was thinking of. But yeah, Jay loves this movie. I don't like love movies.
That's literally all we do. What are you talking about?
No, this is like okay. So I like a romantic comedy, but this has more. I feel like this has more drama than comedy.
It's a romantic comedy. It falls under that umbrella.
But I feel like it says drama. I'm right here. It says drama, romantic comedy.
It's not that dramatic. It really isn't.
I think it's a little dramatic.
It really
It's a
isn't.
little sad. It's very sad. I mean, once you put the holidays into it,
I
like,
think this
sad.
is like one of the best. No notes, no complaints. This is like one of the best romantic comedies.
You like this bitch crazy? This little
I love this
bitch run.
movie.
You don't think like you feel sorry for her? Like Jesus, this is pathetic.
No, Sandra Bullock can do no wrong. Summary: lonely transit worker Lucy Eleanor Moderatz, played by Sandra Bullock, pulls her longtime crush Peter. Oh, his real name is Peter Gallagher. Funny. Her long-term crush Peter from the path of an ongoing train. At the hospital, doctors report that he's in a coma, and a misplaced comment from Lucy causes Peter's family to assume that she is his fiancée. When Lucy doesn't correct them, they take her into their home and confide in her. Things get even more complicated when she finds herself falling for Peter's brother, Jack. 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Film! The film is a 1995 romantic comedy directed by John Turtletaub and written by Daniel G. Sullivan and Frederick LeBow. Disney's Hollywood Pictures acquired the script back in 1994. However, it struggled to find interested actors. Meg Ryan, who's in Sleepless in Seattle, was one of the first to turn down the role, as Lucy was initially meant to be the one who falls into a coma. They're going to do it the reverse.
Not cute that way.
It's not.
Not cute.
And so when they presented it to Meg Ryan, her people were like, why the fuck, one, would our star, the Meg Ryan, the queen of rom-coms at this time, want to be in a movie where she's
in a coma,
where she's in the coma 80% of the fucking film? And
right.
then
y'all can get anybody to
right. They were like, why do you need her for that? And then they were like, and this is also creepy. Y'all need to change it and reverse it. The guy is the one that needs to be in the coma. And then the writers was like, oh, okay, well, did she want to do it that way? And she was like, nah, like, no. She's good. She just doesn't want to do it.
No, she's like, y'all pissed me off.
She's like, nah, she actually just doesn't want to do it.
But it would have been cute. She should have done it.
I think Meg Ryan.
Tell me.
Like, have you ever seen When Harry Met Sally? When Harry Met Sally?
No.
I think Meg Ryan has the way, when I see Meg Ryan in a movie, I think of her character in When Harry Meets Sally, and it's very like pathetic, very like, and I feel like she would have been, it would have been too accurate for this film. Like her being like, oh, this pathetic, like lonely woman who pretends that this guy in a coma is her fiance. It would have been too on par.
You said too much.
It would have been too much.
Okay.
I'd be like, bitch, why are you always playing this like weird, aggravating, like crazy lady? I just feel like it would have been too much.
Typecasting.
Yeah, it'd have been too strong typecasting. Okay. So I'm glad she said no. Both, however, Demi Moore and Julia Roberts were offered the role of Lucy, but turned it down. A then largely unknown Sandra Bullock read the script while filming Speed in 1994.
I feel like Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock are the same person.
No, literally when I was watching the movie, before I even discovered this in my notes, when I was watching the movie, I was like, Julia Roberts would have ate this up. Not that like Sandra, like this love Sandra. Right. Love her in this. This is the perfect role for her. But I was like, Julia Roberts too very well could have done this. But because they are very much like the same person. I feel like they're the queens of like 90s romantic comedy. Megan Ryan had it in the 80s. These two were spearheading in the 90s.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I feel
They
like
gave the same vibe.
they really did. I was like, this really could have been either of their game. And then I read that Julia Roberts said this is like one of her biggest film regrets, like not doing. I was like, yeah, bitch, because this would have been perfect for
right
you.
up your alley.
Yeah,
it's right up your alley.
The writers had Pierce Bronson in mind for the role of Peter and Dennis Quaid for the role of Jack when drafting the script. He plays James Bond, the 90s version.
Oof. Yes, that man is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And then,
and who was the second person?
Dennis Quaid. The dad from Parent Trap.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad they didn't give him the role because he's a Trump supporter and I don't want to see him in anything. I'm really upset that I have to watch Parent Trap and he's in it. Ruins the whole movie for me now.
I wonder if he went to Epstein's Island.
He probably is on them papers.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Patrick Swayze was also considered for the role of Jack in earlier stages as well. Though the original screenplay was entitled, at its early conception, Coma Guy, the title was changed shortly after the script was acquired by Caravana Pictures. Writer Daniel Sullivan had a buddy who was a composer, and he was the one who suggested changing the film's title to While You Were Sleeping.
Are they fucking with us? Because in what world was Coma Guy the appropriate title?
Films go through so many different phases and stages. They don't always start off as gold. I feel like you gotta dig it out of the mud a little bit.
I feel like sometimes they're just like, okay, it was never really considered. It's just like when I wrote the rough draft, I didn't have a name. I just wrote Coma Guy.
Yeah.
And that was never going to be the title, but someone just gave me a title. Maybe they're just doing it for the fluff. Because there's no way that a production studio was ever going to say, print out Coma Guy on a poster.
Sell it to the masses.
Check out this new film, Coma Guy.
I didn't think
when Julia Roberts. Coma Guy?
I mean, it's not the best. While you were
sleeping, it's like, okay, romantic comedy. Coma Guy gives me comedy.
Yeah, it gives like bumbling idiot comedy.
Yeah, it gives me what's that one with the dead body?
Oh, Weekend at Bernie's.
That's what it gives me. Coma Guy, Weekend at Bernie's. That's what.
The original script was set in New York City, but for budget reasons, the setting was changed to Chicago, where it was shot on location. That's why it has this real New York Italian character, Joe Jr., who is so Brooklyn, but nobody really questions it. The weirdness of him being in the middle of Chicago. That was from one of the writers.
People can move. But yes, it does.
I just thought the whole time I was just like, I was like, oh, this is a Chicago accent. That's what I thought the whole time.
I just didn't question it.
I didn't question it either because I think Chicago accents and New York accents sound the fucking same. They're not that different.
And honestly, when for whatever reason, a lot of Christmas movies, like holiday movies, I'm just assuming that it's in New York. I'm not even, even if you say welcome to Chicago, you're in New York.
Because even watching it, I was like, it feels like the movie is in New York.
Yeah.
And it feels like it should have been in New York.
A holiday movie just feels like gotta be set in
New
York.
It needs to be set in New York.
But I love Chicago.
Filming took place from October 8th to December 14th, 1994. Bill Pullman, the guy who plays Jack, reportedly at one point also tried to quit the film after an infamous table read that one of the producers called the worst table read of all time. But he was told by his agent he could not quit another film. I guess he had...
Wait, so who... I'm sorry, who was trying to quit?
The guy who plays Jack, the brother.
It was that bad for him?
I gotta pay attention. These guys always want to...
Pay attention. I can comment. Are you laughing at me? I'm just making sure.
I feel like there's always an instance where a guy who's in a rom-com, he always wants to fucking quit it because he thinks like he should be doing something better.
It's like, relax. Let's do a rom-com every now and again, and then eventually you can go disappear,
right? And do your
what has he done?
Your Top Gun 7, right? Or whatever the hell you want.
Is he? In?
No.
Nothing. I'm about to say he hasn't done anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're gonna quit this movie, and what else have you been in? He was in fucking Casper.
Right.
That's it. He plays the dad in Casper. What else you was gonna do if you ain't had this movie? Why you think you're too good for this?
Rom-coms.
The film was released April 21st, 1995, and distributed by Buena Vista Pictures Distribution Inc. Words are hard. Bullock, Sandra, was also nominated for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical.
Nice.
Yes.
So where did they put comedies and musicals together?
Isn't it? Budget.
Budget had to be 30 million.
No.
40 million.
No.
50 million.
No.
Am I going too high?
Chicago. We're not in New York. It's a little bit cheaper.
15 million.
$17 million hairs. Box office.
They was making money. They was making movies cheap back then.
It was the 90s. Everything was cheap.
Inflation, man. Budget. I mean,
box office.
Box office. And you know, rom-coms were alive back then. You know, people really ate this shit up. They didn't really make them like they used to. I'm gonna go with 90.
No.
100.
No. No.
What did I say? 120?
No.
Then you go down.
You're on the correct trajectory.
150.
No.
160.
No.
200.
$182 million.
Bitch. I bet you Julia
Yeah.
Roberts was upset.
Hello. The film was a critical and commercial success.
That's actually really surprising.
It grossed over $182 million worldwide.
I didn't think the movie was that good.
And received praise for its performance. Oh, I knew this was a fucking chef's kiss, golden diamond, stellar, amazing, spectacular, give me 50 more of these type movie. When the first time I saw it, I said, oh my God, this movie is so good. It's fantastic. It's so good. You don't love this movie? When you watch it, you're like, oh my God, this movie is so freaking good.
No.
Oh my God.
I'm be honest with you.
Are you kidding me? This movie is so good.
And you know what? They give it away with the poster. I'm like, why is she with the brother?
I'm not. She gives it away with the poster.
They give it away with the poster. She's holding the brother. I'm like, okay, well, it needs to be the brother, her, and the guy in the coma. Why would you give it away? You're like watching the movies like that's not the guy in the coma. They don't end up together.
Maybe that's not the poster that they used when it was released.
I would hope not.
To tell you. All right. So the film begins. Drum roll, please. Wait, what do we do?
No.
How does this go?
That's it. Cass.
Oh yeah. Good job. Thanks for the reminder. Sandra Bullock. Our girl. Sandy B. as Lucy Eleanor Moderates, a lonely transportation worker. Bill Pullman as Jack Callahan, a carpenter with scruffy charm. Peter Gallagher as Peter Callahan, who is rich, handsome, and mostly...
Maybe it's Jake.
I think it's Jack. Jack.
Jack.
And mostly gullible. Jake. I don't think he was that gullible. Peter Boyle as Ox Callahan, the head of the Callahan furniture business, and then he's obviously Peter and Jack's daddy. Glenise Jones. No, that does not say Jones. Glenise Johns as Elise, the slightly diluted grandmother. So she's the grandmother of the Callahan family. Makoro as Madge Callahan, the mother. Jake Warden as Saul, Peter's godfather and neighbor to the Callahans. Jason Bernard as Jerry Wallace, Lucy's dry-humored boss. Yeah. And then Michael Rispoli as Joe Fesco Jr. And yeah, I think that's good. Oh, and then Monica Keena as Mary Callahan, the youngest sister of Peter and Jack, the only girl of the Callahan family, the only female daughter.
You start us off. You're going to lead. You're going to lead this charge, buddy.
Oh, shameful. Yeah, you didn't even make any notes. Is it where the fuck are her notes?
I haven't made notes in a while. I meant to do it yesterday, but I got caught up.
Okay, the film opens up. It's 1994 Chicago. It's Christmas time. It's the holiday season, baby. And we're introduced to a young Lucy Moderates. She's telling us she's going back down memory lane and she's reminiscing on her childhood. And she informs us, it's a little montage flashback, that it's always been her and her dad her entire life. Her mom died when she was young. She barely remembers her. She loves her daddy. She always asks him, you know, what was mom like? And he always told her that she gave him the world because she gave him her. And it's a beautiful sentiment. And yeah. And then fast forward to present day, we meet Lucy and she's explaining how she never thought her life would kind of turn out the way it is. Because her dad used to tell her life isn't what you expected. And Lucy is a toll booth worker at the local, like, Chicago subway. And
she's alone. She's got a cat.
Yeah, she's
living a sad life.
Yeah, her dad is now deceased. Her mom died when she was young, so she doesn't have any family. So she's really lonely, and it's the holidays.
Yeah.
So
it's the holiday time.
As she's working her toll booth job every day between the time Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 8:15, there is this very handsome gentleman who stops by her booth every day to get on the train. He doesn't notice her, but she surely notices him. He's stunning, tall, handsome, dark hair, blue eyes, luscious lips. She's in love with him. And
he didn't do it for me.
He's creepy looking. He's like a who's that guy in he's like a Cillian Murphy. He's like
Cillian Murphy.
The guy in Oppenheimer. Yeah. He's like that, like, creepy but like good looking look. Like, he's good looking, but he's like creepy looking at the same time.
I don't know, something about him.
I'm
just like he's handsome. I give you that. Yeah. He doesn't do it for me.
I mean, yeah, he's good looking, but it's like, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't know.
But yeah. Lucy's into him. Okay. And Lucy is like fantasizing about one day she's going to talk to him, and then the next day they'll be married, and the next day they'll be living a perfect life. Well, preparation meets
luck meets preparation.
Maybe. Luck finally meets preparation, baby. And she finally gets her opportunity because one day her boss, Jerry, asks her to work Christmas Day. She's reluctant. She doesn't want to do it because it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
But she's the only one who doesn't have any family whatsoever.
Which is so sad.
I know.
For him to mention.
He's like, look, you're the only one who doesn't have like any family. And she's like, okay, whatever, fine. So she decides to work Christmas Day. And that day, Peter comes to the booth. He's like, Merry Christmas. She hesitates. She doesn't speak to him. She's like, oh my God, he finally spoke to me. I missed my opportunity. But as luck so has it, as he's walking down. As luck so has it, he is walking down the train, monorail, road, sidewalk, I don't know what you want to call it, and he's met by these two like street youths, and they push him onto the railroad tracks. And Lucy sees all this. Of course, she has to go save and rescue her man because he's not getting up. So she makes a run for it. She tries to go down and help him. She gets down on the railroad tracks, and there is a train coming. She's trying to wake him up. She's like, hey, mister, there's a train coming. It's an express, so that means it's coming really fast. He's not waking up. So what she does is she takes his body, she rolls him on top of her, and then she goes underneath like the awning so the train tracks and the train barely miss her and Peter. Peter opens his eyes for like a brief second. She's like, hi, and then he passes out. Fast forward.
Let me do the cut to. Next thing we see, they're at the hospital. Lucy is in there and she's asking for a guy that just came in and blah, 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 because she doesn't know his name. And at one point she looks to her right and she sees Peter being like gurneyed in. And she's like, oh, I need to go, comfort him. Like, I saved his life. But the doctor there is like, it's only for family and friends only or something like
You're
that.
not family. Get the out.
And she's like, okay, whatever. She sees him gets willed into the back, and she says to herself out loud, I was going to marry that guy. Unbeknownst to her, there was a nurse looking nearby who heard this, and she was like, oh no. She loves a good, she must be messy, but she loves a good story. She's honestly too invested in her job because that's going to, affect her because you're not supposed to be, whatever. So
she now thinks that Lucy is Peter's fiance. So she's like, 1 + 1 = 2. That means she's family and she can go into the hospital room and see him.
Yes. So she walks Lucy to the back and she's like, since you're the fiance, you can go back here. And she's like watching over him and like, I don't know. And then like the nurse even's like, talk to him. So
she's like, talk to him, sweetie.
The voice.
He needs to hear your voice.
And the nurse is like invested. She's like, this is the saddest thing I've ever heard. They're engaged. He's dying. Y'all have fun. So Lucy's like looking over him. She's like, okay, this is so sad. Moments later, Peter's family piles into the room. They're very chaotic.
His entire family, his mom, his dad, his sister, his uncle.
They give me the vibe of Kevin,
the McAllisters,
Home Alone,
the McAllisters,
Home Alone family, just like a whole bunch of them. They're really close. They got an uncle, the kids, whatever. They pile into the room like, oh my god, what's happening?
My baby, my oldest boy, is he okay? Is he gonna die on Christmas Day?
So as this is happening, like, everyone's piling in. The doctor came in, another doctor came in, a cop came in. They all think that Lucy is his fiance. They're asking her questions, blah, blah, blah. The family's like, who is she? Who is she? The nurse is like, that's his fiance. Lucy's like, what the fuck? Never said that. But she can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's never.
Lucy's like, what the family's like, what the fuck? But then Lucy also is like, what the fuck? Right, like, what the I'm fuck? Not his fiance. And then the family, the mom is like, oh my god, he's engaged. And the dad is like, oh my goodness, he doesn't come around enough to tell his own mother that he's engaged, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, well, why are you here? Like, how did you know he fell? And then the cop is like, well, she's the one who saved him. She pushed him off the train tracks. And they're like, oh my god, you saved our boy. Right, yeah. Or you pulled him off the train tracks.
Off the train tracks.
Yeah, pushed him onto it. And then one of the doctors who like was trying to prevent her from coming in the first place was like, I love this part. So the doctor that wouldn't let her come in the first place, he comes in and he says to the other doctor, and he's like, other doctor, this room is only supposed to be for family. And then the dad hits the doctor and he's like, she is family. I thought that was so sweet. I was like, you'd only known her for 2 seconds and you just found out she was engaged to your son like 5 seconds ago. I just thought that was so sweet.
I think it's sad how estranged he must be that they are just being like, yeah, he wouldn't tell us about a fiance that he had.
Yeah, that's terrible. To say y'all live in the same city. I can understand if you lived in Chicago and they lived in New York or vice versa. You in the same city, sad. Bro. It's crazy.
Why aren't y'all talking?
Why aren't we communicating here?
Talk to each other.
So yeah. After this big uproar and everyone's like, oh my god, you're his fiance. It's so nice to meet you. Oh my goodness, he didn't tell us. We're just so glad he met a nice girl. Lucy needs some air. She goes outside. She pulls the nurse aside, who's the one who started this mess. She pulls the nurse aside and she's like, why did you say that in there? I'm not his fiance. I've never met him. I've never even talked to the man before. And then the nurse is like, but you said it out loud in the lobby. She was like, bitch, I was talking to myself. And the nurse is like, well, next time you want to have a conversation with yourself, say you're fucking single. And then she gets back into the swing of things with the family. They're all kind of just like waiting in like the hospital lobby area, waiting on, I guess, like a conclusion and analysis on Peter's condition. And they're all basically asking Lucy questions. They're like, so how did you meet? How long have you been dating him? He used to be dating this girl named Natalie. Whatever happened to her? Did you steal him from Natalie? Can you tell us about the moment you met? What was it about him that you loved? How long do y'all plan on staying engaged? When is the wedding date? Blah, 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 blah. And this is a lot. This is a lot for Lucy.
And did you mention that she's also like Peter's grandmother mentions like she has a heart condition too, and she's like, well, now's not the time to to say this because I don't want to give this lady a heart attack.
Right. So,
because I feel like that was her biggest factor.
Right. And I would like to point out that the mother and the grandmother, I was like, they look 10 years apart. There should be a substantial age.
They all, right. Everyone looks.
I was like, why y'all all look the same age?
People had children younger back. I don't know.
But so after a long day at the hospital, Lucy heads back to her apartment. We're introduced to Joe Jr., who we kind of met earlier, but I left out. He is the owner of the building's son. He's the guy with like this very Brooklyn accent, but he lives in Chicago. He's enamored with Lucy. He's really into her. He's got like a beer belly. He's got a gut. He's not like, top tier, eligible bachelor. But he's sweet and he really likes Lucy, and Lucy ain't trying to give him the time of day. He asks her out on a date. Lucy doesn't really say yes or no. And then Lucy makes her way into her apartment. But later that night, she decides, once like the family has like left, they've gone home, to visit Peter at night when no one's there. So she heads back to the hospital. She goes to his hospital room. She's in his room and she starts talking to him. And she's basically saying like, hi, nice to meet you. Sorry about all this confusion. Your parents think me and you are engaged. Mind you, Peter is unconscious. He's in a coma. So he can't freaking hear her. And she's like, I'm really sorry this all happened. This wouldn't have happened if you just wake up, though. And she's like, not that I'm blaming you. Okay. And she was going on and on about how, she's asking him, do you believe in love at first sight? He can't answer her. She's like, I always thought I'd be married with, like, kids at this point, and I live at home with a cat. And she's basically just, like, saying, like, oh, if the right guy did ever come, like, I would hope that something would flourish. Basically saying, like, hopefully if you wake up, maybe you might be in love with me. And then, unbeknownst to her, Sal, who is part of the family, he's a member of the family.
Is it Saul or Sal?
It is Saul. Better call Saul. Saul, who's a member of the family who was at the hospital earlier, this is Peter's godfather. I guess he decided he wanted to visit Peter too. He hears all of this. He hears everything that Lucy is saying to Peter. So now he knows that this bitch ain't really his godson's fiance and that she's just a crazy woman off the street.
But he chooses to keep that to himself.
He minds his business, though. So Lucy ends up falling asleep at the hospital. When she wakes up, she's trying to leave, but as she's leaving, the entire family arrives. And they're like, oh my God, Lucy, you're here. Oh my God, did you spend the night? Lucy, you look so good. How's our boy doing? Is he doing good? Did you take care of him? And lo and behold, the family ultimately invites her. They tell her, like, hey, because of, like, this whole scenario yesterday, which was Christmas, they didn't have the opportunity to celebrate. So they're celebrating it on December 26th. And they're like, do you want to join us? And she's like, oh, that's so sweet, but I can't, I shouldn't. And then the dad is like, well, look, if you change your mind, here's my card. Here's my number. We're in the furniture business. Here's my business card. And if you change your mind, just stop by. And she's like, okay, thanks. That's so sweet. Fast forward, Lucy's a very lonely girl.
Two things happen before she leaves the hospital. One, she gets one of the nurses give her Peter's personal effects, or I guess all the things they found in him.
Oh, right.
Like there was
all his belongings that was on.
All his belongings. And two, she runs into one of his coworkers, and he's like, "Oh, you're Peter's fiance."
I love her response. Her response is like, "Sure."
And he's like, it's crazy that he's crazy that he's in the hospital again because of his last accident. And she's like, what? And then
she's like, accident?
We don't see it. And then we cut out. And we're like, okay, whatever that was.
Well, no, he tells her.
And then we don't know what she tells her.
Well, he says that they were playing basketball and he had a pencil in his pocket, and that he's a lawyer. He keeps pencils in his pocket. And then that caused an accident for Peter.
Yeah.
While they were playing basketball.
Right. The pencil. Yeah, he does say pencil. Which is actually a crazy, I don't care what you do. You know there's a pencil.
Yeah, why do you have a pencil in your fucking pocket?
Basketball shorts? He's like, I'm a lawyer. You need to write things down in your gym clothes.
While you're playing basketball?
Crazy. He did it on purpose. Anywho, yes. Lonely person.
I was like, is there something else you wanted to say? So Lucy heads home. She's at home. She's feeding her cat. She's eating like a bowl of cereal. And of course, she's all alone and lonely. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to take them up on their offer and I'm going to stop by the Callahans. Even though this is a crazy idea to get invested and attached to this family
digging deep,
who has a son that I do not know who they think I'm engaged to. You know what? I'm going to go over there. So she heads over there to the home of the Callahans. And as she's arriving, Saul is walking over and Saul's like, hey, Lucy, before you go in, like, join me for a smoke. So her and Saul are sitting on the porch. They're talking and they're talking about the holiday season. She shares with Saul that her father passed away. They used to live in Indiana. They moved to Chicago because he got really sick. They went to this like cancer research center and it didn't work. The research didn't work and he died about a year ago or 2 years ago.
All right. She had to quit college.
So that's how she started working for Chicago transportation system. And then Saul shares with her that his wife passed away like 5 years ago as well. And he expresses to her, he's like, look, you know, the Callahans, Lucy, they took me in. They treated me as one of their own. They're family to me. And I wouldn't want anybody to hurt them. You understand? And she's like, yeah.
Gets me some.
She's like, I wouldn't want anyone to hurt him either. And he's like, all right, good. And then so they go into the house. Christmas celebration, they're exchanging gifts, presents, it's joyful, it's joyous, and they are really treating Lucy as if she's part of the family. She's included in the holiday photo. They take like this group picture, they tell her to get in it. They even have a gift for Lucy when she's there as they're exchanging presents. Like, she's loving this. She's like, oh my God, family, I don't have this. And she's like smiling, she's enjoying it, and it's so sweet because Sandra Bullock is so adorable. And then, so the night ends. The one person that Lucy has yet to meet, who's a part of the family, is Jack. Jack has not arrived at the hospital. He didn't come Christmas Day. So they tell her, like, oh, Jack is going to come later tonight. So she ends up catching the couch at the Callahan home. She stays the night.
Girl, she is digging herself in.
Right, bitch, why are you sleeping over?
Sleep on the couch.
Right.
She comfortable. You know how I don't want to sleep on the couch at my friend's house. I'm like, I'm just.
And they had a big house. They definitely had a spare bed. I don't know why they had that girl on the couch to begin with. But so she's sleeping on the couch. Jack walks in late at night. The younger sister, Mary, meets Jack at the door and she's like, Jack. She's so excited to see her big brother. And then he asks her who this girl is on the couch. And she's like, oh, that's Peter's fiance. And he's like, that's not Peter's fiance. And then
he's like, I talked to Peter.
Right. Unlike y'all motherfuckers, I keep in touch with my brother. That's not his fiance. And Mary's like, yeah, it is. You'll meet her in the morning. You'll love her. And he's like, okay. Cut to what I failed to mention. Right before Jack enters the home, we get a little small clip of Peter's apartment and his phone is ringing. He gets a phone call from a woman named Natalie. Natalie says, hey, Peter, it's Natalie. I know we haven't spoken in a while and I know I'm in Portugal, but you know what? I am going to take you up on your offer. I will marry you. This is Natalie, not Lucy. So when Jack said, that's not Peter's fiance, he meant that's not Peter's fiance because Peter actually has a girlfriend who is in Portugal at the moment. So
he's like, that's not the story I heard.
Right. This is not the girl I know.
So he's unfucking convinced. He's confused. He's like, there's a stranger on our couch.
Oh, right. Who is this woman?
But in man form, he's like, oh, that's a problem.
Right. He's like, oh, well, it makes sense for Peter. So
yeah.
So he's
like, well, maybe I don't know him well. So
exactly.
He goes lay down.
Yeah, maybe. So he wakes up, Lucy wakes up the next morning. She tries to sneak out, but Jack is literally on the staircase waiting for her. And he's like, hey!
It's on site.
And she's like, oh my God, you scared me. And he's like, yeah, sorry, I guess, like, you know, I've never really officially met you before. I don't remember meeting you. Mm-hmm. And Lucy's like, that's because we never met. And he's like, oh, okay, well, so she tries to, like, walk out, and she's like, you know what, but I have to go. I have work. I gotta skedaddle. And he's like, wait, Lucy. And she's like, look, I know this might seem, and he's like, hold on, calm down. I just want to welcome you to the family. And she's like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Taxi's here.
So she goes.
Taxi's here.
So then, throughout the movie, Lucy confides in her boss, Jerry, about the ongoing like situation that she's in with Peter and this family. So at work, she's like telling Jerry about this conundrum that she's in. She's telling him that, his family thinks that she's engaged to Peter, but she's not. And she's like, they're so nice. I can't break their heart. Then the grandmother, she has this heart condition. I know if I tell her the truth, she'll like die and it'll all be my fault. And then he's like, so don't tell him. And she's like, but I have to tell him. And he's like, look, families are complicated. Just like stay under the radar. Don't engage with them. And when they wake up, they'll probably forget about the whole thing. When he wakes up, they'll probably forget about the whole thing. And she's like, okay, whatever.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, great. Because I was like, I can't do it anymore.
So at this point, after meeting the family and everything, Lucy finally has a moment to go through Peter's belongings, and she's looking at his photos and like, oh, he's so nice and doing all this. And she's looking through the box, and something in the box, one of the things she pulls out of the box is cat food. And she's like, oh shit, this man has a cat.
And it probably hasn't eaten in days.
It hasn't eaten in days. While that's going on, Peter's brother, Jack, is doing his own research. He's going to Lucy's apartment complex and I guess trying to get more information on him.
He was delivering her engagement present.
Oh,
is that what it was?
Is that what it was?
The first time? Oh, shit.
I don't think that was the first time. The second time.
But that was the second time. Why did he go over there the first time?
I think he was being nosy.
Is that what it was?
I think he was trying to pop up on her.
No, he goes to the apartment.
Well, no, before he goes there, he goes because I'm playing.
Oh, okay.
I gotta keep track. He goes to he runs into
Joe Jr.
Joe Jr. And he's like, well, would you happen to know the woman that lives in 201? And he's like, know her.
I'm dating her.
That's my girlfriend. I'm dating her. And he's like, oh, for real, huh? And I guess that ends.
I love how he's like. I love how everything he asked him, Joe Jr. gave him like a lie. He's like, "Hey, sir, do you live here? Live here? I own the place. Your daddy owns the place. Okay, well, do you know the woman who lives in like 37G? Noah. I'm dating her. Just lie after lie after lie.
Lie. So I'm assuming he went upstairs. She didn't answer. So for whatever reason, he goes to Peter's apartment next. Lucy's already there because she's got the key.
And she's got to feed the cat.
She's got to feed the cat. So she goes in the apartment. We see her saying, kitty, 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 pussy, kitty. And unbeknownst to her, Jack has walked in right behind her. We're like a couple seconds later. And he's like hearing her call kitty, kitty, and all this stuff. And they finally run into each other inside the apartment. And she's like, what are you doing here? What are you looking for? And he's like, oh, I'm just here to feed the cat, Lucy says. And he's like, he doesn't have a cat. And at first she's like, does he not have a cat? Luckily, the cutest little kitten walks out and she's like, oh, cat.
Come here, kitty.
You could tell, like, she picks up the cat and she reads the collar. I forgot what it says.
It was like Fluffy or something. Fluffy.
Like, hi, my little Fluffy.
Fluffy.
She opens the can, she feeds the cat, and she made it out of this one unscathed.
And then so while she's there, like the phone rings.
Right.
And Jack says something to the effect like, oh, aren't you gonna get that? And she's like, no, I'll let the machine get it. This would have pissed me off because after she said, I'll let the machine get it, he answers the phone. I would have been like, are you not listening to what I'm saying?
Right. Get on out. Get out.
Right. I'd have been like, you and my shit. So then he picks up the phone and he's like, it's for you. So it's the hospital. They're asking her. It's customary, I guess. I've never heard this before. Mm-hmm. But when patients are in the hospital, it's customary for the family to donate blood. So she relays that message to Jack. And he's like, okay, cool. I'll come with you. And she's like, great. So they make their way to the garage. They get into Peter's car. He's very suspicious because at first she doesn't know where Peter's car is. But then lo and behold, it was the car right in front of them the whole time. And just things aren't adding up for him. So then they make their way to the hospital. They're donating blood. And Jack asks her like, oh, so how long have you been dating Peter? And she was like, since September 17th. And he's like, 3 months? And he's like, that's very quick. And she's like, you have no idea. And he was like, well, I think that's really quick for you to be getting to know him. But mind you, they're donating blood. You're supposed to like stay seated. You might get woozy.
Eat.
Right. So she gets up immediately because she's tired of like the interrogation that he's giving her. And then he follows swiftly behind her. But because he got up so abruptly after giving blood, he passes out. Fast forward, they're in the same hospital that Peter's in. So later they go and check on Peter. The whole family, the mom, the dad, Saul, the grandmother, the sister, they're all in Peter's hospital room.
Watching it.
And
nice.
Lucy enters and Jack is following and he's asking her all these questions. He asks her, what is Peter's favorite ice cream? And she's able to say Baskin Robbins because she checked in his refrigerator and he had like 10 cartons of Baskin Robbins ice cream. He asks her what is his favorite, who's his favorite stooge of the three stooges? And she says Curly. Apparently Curly's everybody's favorite. He asks her what's his favorite baseball team. And she's getting all these answers right by the luck of grace.
Right.
And the parents are like, why are you interrogating her? Like, what's all this about? And Jack is like, ask her boyfriend, Joe Fisco. And Lucy's like, Joe Jr.? He's told you he was my boyfriend? Like, are you serious? You talking about Joe Jr. right now? And he's like, yes. He said that you two were intimate. And she's like, and he's a pathological liar. Like, I would never date Joe fucking Jr. Look at me.
She's like, look at me.
Yeah, look at me. I know I'm lonely, but I'm still fine.
Right.
And then so the grandmother basically is like, you know what? If she wanted to prove it in reference to Lucy, she'd prove it. Now, I don't know what her dating Joe Jr. has to do with her proving that she's engaged to Peter because she could just be two-timing both of them, but nonetheless. They want her to prove that she's actually seeing Peter, she's engaged to Peter, she's with Peter, and not with this Joe Jr. character. And so she tells them, she says, okay, Peter only has one ball. He's missing a testicle. And they're like, oh, no way, impossible. And she's like, yes, about a month ago, he was playing basketball and one of his friends had a pencil in his pocket and it shoved right into his testicle and they had to get it removed.
That sounds so painful.
I know. So then the mother checks to make sure that Lucy's telling the truth and he, in fact, is missing one testicle. And so the family are like, okay. And they all leave the hospital. You made it. And she lives to fight another day. She was fine another day.
So next scene, she's walking to her apartment, defeated. She's had a long day. Here comes fucking Joe Jr. yapping his mouth.
He's like, you stood me out
for your date. She's like, I never said yes.
She said, I never said I would go on a date with you. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did.
No, I did not. But then right after this, another knock at the door comes, and it's Saul. So Lucy asks Joe Jr. to hide in a closet, and she invites Saul in. And Saul basically says, hey, that time, after you went to the hospital, I heard you confess the whole thing, and I know you're not really Peter's fiance.
And basically, he tells her,
he's like, I'm on your side, girl.
Yeah, he's like, look, when we were sitting outside their porch and you said you would never want to do anything to hurt them, you telling them the truth will hurt them. Because look, the way they see it is now that you're engaged to Peter, they feel like they can probably, reintroduce him to the family, get him back in their lives because he's very estranged from them for whatever reason. And he says, if they lose you, they'll lose Peter. So you can't tell them that you're not his actual fiance. Just go along with it. I don't know how Saul thinks this is actually going to turn out and pan out when that man wakes up.
Yeah.
But whatever. And she's like, okay, fine, sure. And Saul leaves. He asks her, how did you know he ain't had no testicle though? And he said, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to mind my business. I don't want to know. And then so he makes an exit for it. So then about 2 seconds later, she gets another knock on the door.
Who is that?
And she's like, fuck, who the fuck is it now? I just want to be left alone. This is too much. And it's Jack.
His nosy ass.
It's Jack. And she answers the door and she's like, oh, do you have more interrogating questions? And he's like, no, I have your engagement present. She's like, okay. He's like, it's a love seat. Where do you want me to put it? And she's like, bring it to Peter's apartment. I don't want it. I don't want it.
That could have been a reason why he came the first time.
Huh?
I guess that could have been the reason why he came the first time.
Right. And then it kind of just derailed
Yeah.
So she's like, look, bring it to Peter's apartment. I don't want it. And he's like, you don't even know what it looks like. She's like, everything will look better in Peter's apartment because Peter's apartment is very nice. And Joe Jr. is still hiding in her closet making noise. And to avoid the run-in between Joe Jr. and Jack, who already thinks that she's dating Joe Jr., she's like, and I'll come with you. So she leaves Joe Jr. in her apartment so she can go off and appease Jack. So she hops in the car with him. They drive on over to Peter's apartment. They skip the doorman and everything, and they make their way upstairs. They try to get the sofa in. Wait. Okay, so they get to Peter's apartment. They're about to unload the little item and the furniture. And she sees this chair that's in the back of his truck, his furniture truck. And she's like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is so nice. Like, is this for us too? And he's like, no. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh no, don't be. I made that. And she's like, oh my God, you made this? This is so beautiful. This is like handcrafted. Like, you should go into business for yourself. And he's like, it's not that easy. And she's like, oh, I guess it could be difficult being a part of the family business. Because the family, Callahan and Son, is a deceased furniture company. They buy furniture from dead people. And bitch,
I missed that.
Are you serious? Yes. You missed that?
I missed the deceased furniture part.
Yes.
You buy furniture from dead people? That's gross.
Yeah.
And that couch looks like a dead couch. So
no, literally. I was like, I would not want that fucking shit.
And why would that go in my house?
Exactly.
Or Peter's home.
Right. We don't want this. So he's like, yeah, it's not easy, wanting to like leave the family business. I don't really know how to approach my dad about it. And she's like, oh, well, if you do decide to go into business for yourself, like, I think you'll be very successful. Very nice exchange they have. So then they make their way up to the apartment. They try to get this love seat that once belonged to a dead person, moves into Peter's apartment. They're having a little trouble. In the process of them trying to get the love seat through the door frame, they end up knocking over this glass that stains his apartment. But they get the sofa in. So they head back downstairs, and his car, Jack's car, is now blocked in. And he has like a big furniture truck, so he can't get out of it. And she's like, okay, well, good night. And he's like,
which is
wait,
hilarious.
You just gonna leave me here? You just gonna leave me here stranded? And she's like, yeah, pretty much. And he's like, well, why don't I just walk you home? And she's like, oh no, it's not that far. It's fine. And he's like, well, it's Chicago. And I don't really want to be here by myself. So I'm going to walk with you. So they walk back to Lucy's apartment. And they're talking. At first they're talking about the weather and their jackets. And then they transition.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold. Brr. And then it transitions to them speaking a little bit more personally. He asks Lucy if she could go anywhere in the world, where would she go? And she said she would go to Florence, Italy. And that she has a passport, but it has no stamps. And she tells...
That's adorable.
She tells Jack about her father who passed away, and she says she barely remembers her mom, but her and her dad were really close. And then she also tells Jack that he reminds her of her father a little bit.
Oh.
Which is, I think, kind of gross because, spoiler, they end up together. So I'm just like, But yeah, so they're having this long talk. He's asking her other personal things. And then they finally get to Lucy's apartment. So it is Chicago in December. So of course there's snow on the ground. It's really icy. And they're walking over like the black ice. And they start slipping and sliding all over each other. And Jack catches Lucy in his arms. And they look lovingly at each other. And it's like, oh my God, wait. Are we like having a connection right now? And Lucy's like, can't do this. Already in a sticky situation, and I'm engaged to your brother, so gotta bounce. So she's like, okay, good night.
Now Jack does it for me. He's cute.
I think they're both cute, but yeah, Jack is cuter.
Yeah,
I like the more rugged look on him than the more sophisticated look on Peter. Right. So Lucy goes up to her apartment. She is met by Joe Jr. and he's like, hey, it's either him or me. And then she's like, him. And he's like, well, I didn't say you had to decide right now. So then she goes back up to her apartment. She looks at Jack from out the window, and she's like, oh my God, he's so fucking cute. So then the next day, now she's in a dilemma. She pulls up on her boss again, her good friend, Jerry.
Help me.
And she's like, Jerry, what do I do? I like Jack. Jerry's like, who the fuck is Jack? And she's like, Peter's brother. Who's Peter? And she's like, the guy in the coma. And she's like, oh. Well, I thought you were engaged to Peter. Why do you like Jack? She's like, I am engaged to Peter. Fakely, but I like Jack because I've been spending time with him. And he's like, well, what are you going to do when he wakes up? And what are you going to tell the family? And she's like...
He was starting to piss me off.
No, literally, every time she talks to him, I'm like, why are you talking to him? I'm like, he doesn't... First of all, he's not following the story. He's not following the timeline. Right. And he's also...
Is this not interesting enough
right,
to you?
Exactly. He's acting like he's bored at the thought of this actually incredibly insane story. And then
like,
he's not offering any...
Aren't you married to him?
Exactly.
What?
And then he's not offering any good advice. I'm just like, every time she talks to him, I get so irritated. I'm like, stop talking to him. He gives you nothing.
Aren't you married to the guy in the coma?
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Right.
That's your commentary?
He's like, who's Jack?
Why are you cheating on
dating the guy in the coma?
Guy you're engaged to in the coma?
Right.
I will punch you in the fucking face.
And then
that's why you can't talk
he
to
gives her like some terrible advice. I don't even remember what he tells her. And I think he tells her, oh, you have to tell everybody the truth or something like that. And she's like, I can't do that. And she's like, that would be sick. Right. And he's like, you're dating a guy in a coma. Like, that's the sick part.
Briefly, Jack goes to the hospital to visit Peter. And he basically mentions that he has a crush on Lucy.
Oh, yeah. He says he visits Peter in the hospital. I guess that same night that Lucy was confiding in Jerry. And
he's like,
he's talking to Peter in his coma. They're playing poker. But Peter's asleep, and he's telling him, you know, I've never been, like, we've always been different. You've always been very successful. Right. I've never been envious of what you've had until now. You got Lucy, and I want her.
Crazy.
Which is crazy. I was like, it's only been like, you've only known her 2 days. The family's known about 5, 4 maybe. Right. And you've only hung out once.
Craziness.
I was like, how you want her already? Y'all moving fast. So the next day, girl, Lucy's spending more time with the family. They all at the house, the family Callahan home, and they're all having dinner. Lucy and Jack are sitting across from each other, and the mom kind of asks Lucy, like, oh, Lucy, I need a sweet, nice girl for Jack. Can you help me find one? And Lucy's like, well, what's your type? And he's like, blonde, fat ones. That doesn't fit the description of Lucy because Lucy is his type. But the night goes on, and before Lucy leaves for the night after having dinner with the family, they're walking out, and I guess Jack is walking her out the door, and they both are stopped in the doorway, and they're standing underneath a mistletoe. And then Mary, the little sister, was like, oh my God, look, you guys, you're underneath the mistletoe. And then the family's like, oh my God, yeah, kiss her. Kiss her, you idiot. Just kiss her already.
What the fuck?
And he kisses her.
That was so
That was crazy. I said, y'all, she's engaged to his brother in a coma.
What?
Yeah, she's like, kiss her, you idiot. No, don't kiss her. She's engaged to his brother.
Do y'all kiss each other when y'all arrive at the house?
Right.
Together? You kissing your...
They're like, it's tradition.
Your daughter, your son, what?
It's tradition. Kiss her. No.
It was crazy.
No.
That was a crazy scene. That was so messy.
That was insane.
Mess. But next scene, Lucy's at work, and she's visited by...
Mary.
Peter's... Mary, Peter's sister. And somebody
And her friend Beth.
And a friend Beth. So they walk into the booth where Lucy's working, and Lucy's co-worker's in there. She's like, oh, who is this? And they introduce themselves, and she's like, oh, well, how do y'all know each other? And Mary goes, oh, she's marrying my brother, Peter. And her co-worker's like, you're getting married?
Lucy, you engaged, girl!
You engaged? Right. And so at this point, Lucy's like, okay, y'all go hop on the train. Before they leave, Lucy's co-worker asks her, are you pregnant? And Lucy jokingly says, yes, I'm pregnant.
She's like, yeah, girl, I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant. But Beth, like the friend, hears it and she's like, oh, she's pregnant. So
she tells that to Mary.
He says that to Mary. And I guess at this point, did she tell her the truth?
Did she tell Mary the truth?
No, did she tell
no. The truth? Her coworker's like, interesting. She's just asking, like, intrusive questions.
Intruding questions. So, cut to, we're back at the Peter's family's home. They're eating, they're sitting down, and then Mary, the little sister, and her friend walk in, and she's like, "Guess what? Lucy's pregnant."
Lucy is in
the whole family's like, yeah, Lucy's in the house. So the whole family's like, "What?" And then also there is Jack, and he's like, she's pregnant, and he's like devastated because he's in love with her at this point. One day in,
literally,
which is great.
After 72 hours.
So at this point, I guess they're all like, it probably to them, it probably makes it all even make more sense why they don't even know about this lady and they're engaged, because it's like, oh, she's pregnant. That,
right.
That all makes
sense now. He got her knocked up and now he proposed to her because she's knocked up.
Got it.
So Jack hears the news. He's visibly devastated. He instantly grabs his coat the moment he hears this news. He grabs his coat and heads to Lucy's apartment. And he goes there. I think Joe Jr. is there again. He gives...
Yeah, dropping off.
Yeah, Joe Jr. is there. Before he gets to Lucy's doorstep, he sees Joe Jr. and Lucy having a conversation. Joe Jr. is giving Lucy this bouquet of flowers, and she hugs him and thanks him. Even though she kind of tells him I'm not interested, but she still thanks him for the flowers. And Jack sees this. So then I think he leaves, or he has the intention of leaving, but then Lucy is making her way out of her apartment because she's going to a party that her coworker who was in the booth with her is hosting. So she sees Jack and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Why are you outside my apartment?" And he was like, "Hey, you're going to a party." Because she has a bottle of wine in her hand. And she's like, "Yeah, my coworker, she's having this party." He's like, "Okay, cool, I'll drive you." And she's like, "No, it's not that far. I don't need you to drive me." And he's like, No, get in the car, I'll drive you. She's like, "But it's not that far." He's like, "Get in the car."
And the best part, he's offering drives, but he drives a truck, which I think is hilarious.
Right, he's like, I honestly would be like, I'd rather walk. I don't want to be seen in that thing. This? He's driving a fucking furniture truck. I don't want to be in this.
Chicago, where are we parking this?
Right.
No, thank you.
So, they make their way to her coworker. Her name is Celeste. They make their way to Celeste's party, and she's like, "Why are you following me? Why are you being weird? What is all this about?" And he's like, "Well, I just think Peter's gonna have a lot to deal with when he wakes up." And she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So then they go into the party. She kind of abandons Jake and she goes straight to Jerry, who's also at the party.
Not helpful.
And she's like, "Jerry, I have to talk to you." And she's like, "Oh," and Jerry's like, "Oh, is that Peter? He looks great." And she's like, "No, that's not Peter. That's Jake." He's like, "Who is Jake?" She said, "Jake is Peter's brother." And he's like, "The one in the coma?" And she's like, "Yes." And she was like, "But I thought you were engaged to Peter." "I am engaged to Peter. So why is Jake here? Why'd you come here with Jake?" She said, "I didn't come here with Jake. Jake followed me." And he said, "Well, so is Peter Jake?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he like, "Lucy, they got psychiatrists for this shit. This too much."
And then, mind you, the whole party thinks that Jake is actually her fiancé.
Yeah, meanwhile, Celeste, her coworker, is like, "Hey, everybody, meet Lucy's fiancé, Peter. This is him."
Yeah, it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
And then so Lucy makes her way to the punch bowl that is spiked with alcohol, and she's about to fix herself a drink. And Jack is like, "You really shouldn't be drinking that. It's spiked." And she's like, "Good." And he's like, "I don't think you should be having that in your condition." And she's like, "What condition?" He's like, "The baby. You're pregnant."
Record scratch.
Everybody heard it. Everybody in the party heard it. She's not pregnant.
The next scene is her leaving the party.
Yeah, she's pissed. And he's like, "Okay, I'm so sorry. I must have got it wrong. I heard it from Mary. It must have been a mistake or like confusion." And she's like, "You heard it from Mary and you believed her?" And he was like, "Yeah, I didn't have any reason not to believe her."
Right. I don't know you.
And she's like, "Oh, so the only reason why a guy like Peter would want to marry a woman like me is if I was knocked up." And he's like, no. At this point, they're back at Mary's apartment, outside her apartment. This whole movie takes place outside of Mary's apartment. in her apartment, and at the fucking hospital. That's the whole movie. And at the Calloway house. We got 4 locations. Anywho.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they're back at like the front of like Lucy's apartment building. And he's like, no, I didn't say that, like, you know, that, but it's just like, you don't seem like Peter's type. And she's like, well, what is Peter's type? And he's like, look, I'm not saying like y'all don't look good together. I just don't think people would initially like consider y'all a couple. And
Facts.
She's like, fuck you. And he's like, okay, like, I'm sorry. He tries to apologize. Somehow she turns the tables on him. And she is basically like, and why you worried about me? You should be worried about telling your daddy that you don't want to work for him no more. Because the last time I checked.
Right, you should worry about being with your family.
Right. You should be worried about telling your daddy that you don't want to work with him no more and that you want to start your own business. And he's like, hey, just because you've spent 5 days with my family doesn't mean you know them. And she's like, just because you spent a lifetime with your family doesn't know that you know them either. And then he flipped the script on her, and then he's basically like, well, would your father want to see you living your life like this, working endlessly with no stamps in your passport? And she's like, no, he wouldn't. Now, please leave me alone. And they have like an argument. I guess this is their first fight.
You know how couples are.
Yeah, you know how those couples are. And so he leaves.
Is it New Year? I think it's
This is New Year's Eve.
So it was a New Year's party.
This is New Year's Eve.
So after this argument that they have, cut to at the hospital.
Peter!
The nurses and doctors.
Peter done woke up!
The nurses and doctors are cheering to New Year's, and we see Peter, and I guess from the excitement, he doesn't want to miss out on the fun. He wakes up and he's like, what the fuck? So the next scene we see is the whole family is at Peter in his hospital room because he's awake now, and Peter opens his eyes and he's looking across the room. He's like, oh, hey mom, hey aunt. He's like, he recognizes everyone. He's like taking them in slowly by face, and then he stumbles upon Lucy's face, and he's like,
who the fuck is you?
Who the fuck is this? And then they're like, this is your fiance. Instead of saying, oh, she's been lying, they're like, oh, he's got temporary amnesia.
Yeah, instead of being like, oh, why he don't know who you are, instead of like, oh, right. He has amnesia. And she's like, oh, thank God.
He must be a really bad guy because they really wanted her to be in this family.
Right. And so in the midst of all of this, Lucy is talking to Saul, and she's like, Saul, you have to tell them that I am not his fiance. And he's like, okay, I'll tell him. He don't want to be the one to break the news neither. Because remember, he thinks like
I feel like he signed up for it right at first.
Wait, what do you mean?
I feel like he signed up. I feel like at first he was like, I'll tell him.
Well, he did, but I think he still is on the whole kick of like, well, I don't want them to be sad. So I'm not gonna tell them.
My favorite part is that he agrees to tell them. As the family's leaving, Lucy's like, okay, this is the perfect time to tell him. He's like hiding behind a door, peeking to see if they left or not. Right. And she's like, what did you do? You didn't tell him. He's like, oh, I'm going to tell him.
He's like, I'll tell him tomorrow. I promise. I'll tell him tomorrow. And then...
Which is funny because, I mean, he would also be in trouble because he knew for a long time that it was a lie. So he's kind of been on at this point.
So after that day, now that Peter's up, he brings her home. They get to her apartment, and she's like, I just want to say, like, I think after tomorrow, like, things will be a lot different and a lot weirder. Yeah. So I just want to say, like, thank you. I think you've been a really good friend to me. And then he goes down the list of all the things that would make him not a good friend to her. And she's like, yeah, you kind of have had a busy holiday season. He's like, oh, I've been a good friend. I said you were pregnant. I accused you of dating Joe Jr. And then I said this. And she's like, you've actually been pretty shit.
Yeah.
But, they have their little moment. And then once she says, like, oh, you've been a good friend, he's actually kind of like, gut punch. He's like, oh, a friend, huh?
Friend.
Because he's in love with her. And she's like, yeah. Okay, well, good night.
So later that night, inspired by Lucy's, words, he goes home. He talks to his dad. And he basically tells his dad, hey, I kind of want to quit this business and I want to start my own furniture business. And the dad is sad at first, but he, accepts it.
He takes it very well, actually.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, yeah, I wish you would have told me that sooner. I could have been sold it, and me and your mom could have retired and lived and moved to Florida.
Right. But it's, this shows how, like, Lucy, who's only been in his life, very shortly, is already helping him grow as a person.
She's shaping him.
She's shaping him. And that's what men need. They really need a woman on their side. But in another scene, we're back at the hospital, the family's visiting, and Saul is there, and everyone's in there. He's like, "Hey, can I get a second to talk to my godson?"
Yeah, they're trying to convince him before Saul steps out. Like, the family's trying to convince him, like, "Hey, like, Lucy, like, that's your fiance," and he's like ripping off all these facts. He's like, "I got a 27 on the ACT. I graduated president of my fraternity." He's ripping off every single minute fact that he knows about himself. He's like, "If I can remember this and I can remember this, but I don't remember this bitch, I'm not convinced." And then Saul's like, "Y'all can step out for a second. I want to speak to my godson." And then Saul, he turns to Peter and he's like, "You know what, Peter? I've known you since you were a baby, since you were born. I've been at every major life event. When you graduated college, when you got pubic hair on your penis. I've been there for all of it. Gross. And, you're a good-looking guy. You're smart. You're really popular amongst your friends. But let me tell you something, Peter. You're a putz." Peter says, "Excuse me? You're a putz, Peter. You may be good looking, but you're a putz." And Peter's like, terribly. "Is this going somewhere?" And he's like, "Yes. I'm talking about Lucy." Now, this is where I was confused. I was like, so was he saying, like, you're a putz because you're stupid for not knowing that this isn't your fiance? Because it looked like he was about to tell him, and then he stopped. No, yeah. So I was very confused. He was about to tell him, and I think he was about to tell him, and he was like, "You know what? She's a catch anyways." I think he was just like, let's just go. So like Saul promised Lucy, it looked like he was starting to tell Peter, like, "Okay, this woman is not your fiance," but then he just couldn't do it. And he's like, "I'm talking about Lucy." And he stops, and it looks like he course corrects, and he's like, "You know what? She's not just your fiance, Peter. She's your guardian angel. I mean, she saved your life. And, we've been spending the last couple of days with her, and she is an amazing woman, Peter. Now, look, you've been given a second chance at life. Now, tomorrow, if Lucy walks in here and you decide that you don't see what we see in her, how she's amazing, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's one of the most wonderful people this family has ever met, and you look at her and you don't want to spend the rest of your life with her, well, then fine. Tell her you want to break up. But if you can just see for an instance, see what we see in her, see how amazing she is, you will propose to her for a second time and marry her and never let her get away. LOL. And Peter said, "Damn, I didn't know she was all that." Right. I guess. And then so after this little speech, girl, Peter is a changed man. He's singing a new tune. He's like, "Oh my goodness. I've been given a new opportunity at life. I can change exactly who I am. I can be a whole new person." So Lucy comes in later that night to visit her man. She's bringing him his stuff. She's like, "Hey, look, I just wanted to give you your stuff back." And he's like, "Oh my God, Lucy, please have a seat. Sit down." And he's like, "How are you feeling?" And she's like, "I'm good. I should be asking how you're feeling." He's like, "Oh, I feel great, Lucy." And then he thanks her for, like, saving his life. And he's like, "I've never done a courageous thing ever in my life." And he's like, "I've actually been probably the most selfish human being ever." And she's like, "Oh no, I seriously doubt that." And he tells her about a story of how this lady was her purse was getting mugged from this robber. And he's like, "Well, I ran after a purse snatcher once." And she was like, "Yeah, that's heroic." But he's like, halfway through, I pretended to get a cramp because I didn't feel like running no more. And she was like, "Oh, well, it was still pretty heroic." And she's like, "I see you give up your seat every day on the subway train." And he's like, "Yeah, but that's not heroic." And he's like, and Lucy's like, "It is for the person who sits in the seat." And he's like, "Oh my God, this woman will find any and everything positive about me. I must marry her." I think in that moment, he's like, "Okay, I see what my people saying. You're great. Right. She makes me seem like a hero. She makes me seem like such a great guy." Yeah. And then so that concludes, like, his visit, Lucy's visit. And then Jack comes to, like, welcome to his new floor. Yeah. And at this point,
Peter is gun-ho about Lucy, and
he's like, you know what? The sun,
she sees the best
in me. The sun is shining. The air smells fresh. This ice cream tastes even better. And he's like, you know what? I'm so thankful to have a woman like Lucy in my life. You know, I don't know why I decided to, propose to her and get engaged to her, and I have no recollection of it. But you know what? I can't wait to spend the rest of my life trying to figure out what it is that I love about her. And Jack goes on, and then basically Jack is like, well, you might love her because, and then Jack inserts all the reasons why he loves her. And then Peter's like, no, that's not it. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And then Jack's like, oh, God, you're such a dick.
Right.
So.
Also back in the picture is Peter's actual fiance. What's her name?
Natalie. So meanwhile, since Peter has been in the hospital, Natalie has consistently been calling. She called the first time and was like, yes, I will marry you. Then she calls again. She's like, hey, I haven't heard back from you. Even after I said I've married you. I will marry you. I haven't seen my cat. Where my cat at? I would like to have my cat. That was her cat that we saw in Peter's apartment. And she's like, why aren't you answering my phone calls? This is getting ridiculous. So then Peter moves to the new floor. He moves to this rehabilitation floor. And Natalie arrives. She arrives at the hospital. She arrives at the new floor that Peter's on. And she confronts him. And she's like, you motherfucker. Because she done found out. She done found out that he's engaged. And she said, you're engaged? And he's like, Natalie, hey, I thought you were in Portugal. Enough. You're engaged? And he's like, yeah, to Lucy. And she's like, you proposed to me. Lucy. Do you not remember that? And he's like, yeah, but you said no. And she's like, I did not say no. I took some time. And he's like, you moved to Portugal. Nonetheless, okay, I didn't think that would mean you would turn around and propose to the first bimbo off the street. And then Peter's like, Lucy is no bimbo. She's amazing. She's fantastic. And she's like, what's her last name? He's like, I don't know. I have no idea. He's like, I was in a coma. I have amnesia. And she's like, you are full of shit. You are such a bastard. And then she walks out in a jealous rage. About 5 minutes later, Lucy comes back. Lucy comes back and Peter's like, oh my God, Lucy, hey, it's you. And she's like, hey, how are you? Long story short, he gives her this big spiel. He's like, Lucy, I've got a lot of things. I've got a nice house, a great car. I'm good looking. I'm stunning. But Lucy, I don't have you. Lucy, whatever your last name is, Moderates, I think that's what it is. Will you make me the luckiest man in the world and be my wife? He proposes to her. The nurse who originally said that Lucy was Peter's fiance at the very beginning of the scene, she's in the room and she passes out. She's like, oh my God.
She's like, this is why I work here. This is what I do.
But let me tell you, Lucy, this movie is all about manifestation. She manifested that shit. She manifested that. You know how they be saying, when you manifest, you've got to really specifically tell the universe what you want. Because if you even miss a hair, it'll do it all twisted and incorrect and jumbled up. But she still manifested that. That girl said,
she sure did.
I'm going to marry that man. And look at her now. Mm-hmm. It's not how she expected it. Right. But she manifested that. That's why you got to be really, really accurate with your intentions. You got to be very specific with your manifestations, people.
Yeah. And mind you, she was going there to tell Peter that, the truth, because she found out that Saul didn't tell the truth. But, she said, I do instead. And, let bygones be bygones, moving forward.
Whew.
Next, after this, Lucy's back at her house. She's trying on probably the one white dress that she has on. And Jack comes to visit and he's like, I heard about the engagement, y'all getting married and whatnot.
Y'all getting married tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Basically.
And he gives her a snow globe of...
He was like, he said he was walking around. He saw in a store that he was dropping furniture off at. And he saw a snow globe, and in the snow globe, it was Florence, the city of Florence.
Oh, yeah.
And he gave that to her because she wants to go to Florence. And like, oh my God, that was so sweet. He was thinking about her, and she probably cried.
I know. And he sadly says, I'm excited for you to be my like sister-in-law, whatever the hell. And he runs out of there.
And before
he loves her,
he leaves, Lucy stops him and she says, Jack, is there any reason as to why I shouldn't marry your brother tomorrow? This is his opportunity. She's giving him an out. Well, she's giving herself an out. She's giving them an opportunity. Right. And he's like, no, I can't think of one. She said, dumb. Said, damn. Fuck, I guess I'm marrying this nigga then.
Right.
Fuck.
Right. So it must have been later that day or the next day.
I don't know. The days are long in this movie.
The days are long. She goes to her boss. She gives him her wedding invitation. He's like, what is this for? She's like, this is my wedding invitation. He's like, this is for tomorrow. Yeah.
This is the only time he was actually invested in the story. Like, now it took this, her getting married tomorrow, to a guy who's been in a coma for 2 weeks, for him to finally be invested. And he's like, but what?
To ask like real questions.
Right, to ask real freaking questions. And he's like, wait, what happened to Jack? What happened to the other guy? And she's like, he didn't want me, Jerry. And he's like, but you're going to marry a guy who you don't know, who's in a coma? And she said, yes, Jerry, yes, because I have spent my entire life being lonely, being sad, working in a toll booth on Christmas, every holiday. And finally, a stunning, gorgeous, rich man wants to marry me. So yes, for once, I'm actually going to do something for myself and be selfish. And he's like, but what about... Yeah, and I wish the wedding was yesterday. I wish it would came a day sooner, because that would mean I would be in Florence right now on my honeymoon. What? And he's like, well, what about the other guy? What happened to him? And she said, he didn't want me, Jerry. He didn't want me.
He didn't want me.
But he did want you, girl. Man. But, you know, he can't be stealing his brother's fiance. That's in poor taste, right. Okay?
Yeah.
You know he wants you, but it's a tricky situation.
So cut to the wedding day. Everyone's in the hospital chapel waiting for...
I didn't realize until the second day that they were getting married in the hospital's chapel.
Right.
I was like, that's terrible.
There's people on gurneys and stuff, and they're all just watching in the background.
Because I was like, why is there so many patients in this? I was like, oh my God, they're in the chapel hospital. Yeah.
Because the man still, I guess he's still...
Right. He literally... Peter literally has the freaking IV stand hooked up to him.
That's right. He's still recovering. So Lucy finally makes it. She's in a rush. She makes it. She looks confused. And at the first couple steps she makes down the aisle, it seems like she really is going to say, I do. She's going to do it. But she looks into Saul's face, and he's smiling, but then he looks down and kind of like disappointment. I think at that point she realizes, like, I can't fucking do this. Mm-hmm. So she gets up there, and the priest says, "Does anyone object?"
He doesn't even get to that point. Oh, he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we gather here today." She's like, "I object." And he's like, "What?" She's like, "I object." And he's like,
I object.
I haven't even gotten to that part yet.
Got to that
and
part,
then Jack is like, I'd have to object too. And then they're like, what's going on? The family, everyone's there. They're like, wait, Lucy, why are you objecting right now? And so she turns to them and she's like, I'm so sorry, I can't do this.
I am in love with your son.
I know.
Not that one. That one.
Jack, what the hell did you do?
He didn't do anything. It was me. It was all me. Do you remember that day at the hospital? Of course you remember that day at the hospital. Well, there was a little mix-up. I saw Peter get pushed onto the tracks, and I saved his life. But when I got to the hospital, they wouldn't let me see him. So someone told the doctor that I was his fiancée. Only, it's not true. I was never engaged to Peter.
Why didn't you say something?
Because I didn't know how to tell you. We never even met until that day on the tracks. And, it's just when we were in the hospital room, everything happened so fast, and I couldn't tell you the truth. And then I didn't want to tell you the truth because the truth was that I fell in love with you.
You fell in love with me?
No, yes, all of you. I went from being all alone to being a fiancée, a daughter, a granddaughter, a sister, and a friend. I might have saved your life on the tracks that day, but you know what? You really saved mine. You allowed me to be a part of your family, and I haven't had that in a really long time.
Right.
And then she walks out. But before she walks out, girl, Natalie ass walk in talking about some, I object. And then the priest is like, bitch, get in line. You're the third objection of the day.
You know,
and then we find out that Natalie
is Ashley.
Huh?
This thing says her name is Ashley.
Close enough. Who cares? Who cares? We're halfway. We're more than halfway through the movie now. There's no going back. It's Natalie. We've renamed her. So then Natalie walks through and she's like, I object. And they're like, oh my goodness. The family's like, not this girl, not her.
Oh, they do know her. They do know her.
They know her.
They're not a fan.
They're not a fan. And then so another man walks in after Natalie and he's like, I object too. And they're like, well, who the hell is you? And then Peter's like, that's Natalie's husband. And then the family's like, Peter, you've been dating.
He's got a beautiful head of hair.
He does. They're like, Peter, you've been dating a married woman? And he said, yeah. And my brother over here has fallen in love with my sort of fiance. So we're all guilty. And then
everyone breaks out.
Right. And then it just kind of breaks out into chaos then. But Lucy's already
able to
Lucy's already
she's able to slip out of this, which is amazing. But yeah, sometime later, Lucy's at work. She's back at it again, back to the daily grind. And she looks up and she sees that someone has placed an engagement ring in her
cone slot
tray. And she looks up and it's Jack and all his family. And
it's Ox, everyone. It's Saul, it's Elise, the mother, it's Mary, it's the grandmother. They're all in her booth. They're all sitting outside of her booth in the window, smiling at her. It's so cute.
And of course he proposes to her. And with most of, the family watching, she says yes.
You're not telling it romantic enough. He looks at her, he puts that ring in that little coin slot where the change should be, and he said, Lucy, will you marry me? And she says, no. She makes a joke about coins and change or something like that. And then he comes around into the booth, and then he leans into her, he looks at her, he asks her again, will you marry me? And she says, yes.
They don't know each other.
They literally don't know each other. Isn't it so crazy?
They had like 3 scenes together.
So this movie, I don't love when movies take place in over a week. This literally went from Christmas Eve to like 2 days after New Year's. They've known each other for like 14 days.
Right.
Not even.
They didn't even hang out.
8 days.
They didn't hang out that much. Cut to Lucy and Jack. They're on a train ride. On the back of the train says, just got married, which is actually pretty cute. They're hanging out, instead of a car that says just got married, they're on the back of a train that just that says just got married, because she works for the, train system. Now that is cute. They ate that up.
And they're on the back of the train and they share a kiss. It says just married. And then...
Yes, and she talks about how she's able to use her passport to go to Florence, Italy.
Yes, so the end, she's narrating and she's saying how... What? Oh, your face looks funny. I thought you were scolding me. I couldn't tell.
Oh, no.
So just like... I loved how this all tied in together. So just like her father used to tell her that her mother gave him the world, Lucy says Jack gave her the world. And he took her to Florence for their honeymoon. And she's been happy ever since because he gave her something that she didn't have, a stamp in her passport. And then she also says, one day, Peter asked me, when was it when I fell in love with Jack?
In love with Jake.
And I told him, it was while you were sleeping.
Yeah.
I love this movie just for that scene alone. I told him it was while you were sleeping.
A one-liner.
Oh my God.
What's the other one that you love?
Hello! Hello! I'm looking for my wife. hello.
You love that shit.
Oh,
You love
Eat
a
that
long
shit up
hair.
every time. Because the first time I saw it, I did not see that shit coming. Because everybody knows, you had me at hello.
Right.
But I had no idea what movie that came from. I had no idea what movie that came from. The second he got up there and said, hello, I'm looking for my wife. Went on this long ass tangent. She come out the kitchen. She said, shut the fuck up. You had me at hello. I said, I know you lying. It was so good. It was so good. Oh my God. It gives me chills. It was so fire. Jordan, he came in. He said, hello. He was so frantic. Hello. I'm looking for my wife. Goes on this long ass tangent. She pops out of the kitchen. It says, you had me at hello. When you walked in the door. You ain't had to do all that.
Smudge in the air.
Oh, it was so good. I said, oh, that's fire right there. I said, that was Chef Kiss.
You love it one line.
I love it.
So, for me, though, it was straight.
Oh my God. Shut up. This movie's a fantastic film. Fantastic.
I liked it. Is it my favorite love story?
Oh my goodness.
I think not. I think not.
This is amazing.
But not bad.
I love this movie.
I mean, people ate it up. I think it's kind of creepy.
It has an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. Get with it.
Crazy. She wow for that.
The only thing, I feel like when we watch a movie, or when I watch a movie with the purpose of talking about it on this podcast, it does like, the shimmer of it all does kind of go away because I know I'm watching this for like homework purposes. So like I dissect it more than what I would normally do if I was just watching a movie for leisure. So when I was watching it, I was like, damn, I don't remember them moving this fast. And that kind of irritated me. So that kind of killed the vibe a little bit for me. I was like, they're moving really fast and I don't like this.
Oh yeah, they move so fast.
It was
like they don't have that many scenes together.
right.
I really don't feel like they have that many scenes together.
Because they don't spend that much time together.
They don't spend that much time together. You're just like, yeah, she's pretty. But I like her and Jack together. I will say that I think they're a perfect match.
No, they're perfect.
I do see them withstanding the test of time.
Absolutely.
Her and Peter, I don't even know why Peter was so tight because absolutely not.
He was stunning. He was a rich, stunning, beautiful man. He would be anybody's type.
I guess, but Peter and Natalie, we've claimed her to be. They work perfect together. I was like, yeah, I can see that.
Well, duh.
He doesn't have a soul, and she doesn't have a soul either.
Well, that's the whole point of the movie. Like,
yeah, he was supposed to rebrand.
Well, no,
but
of course she wasn't gonna end up with him because she wasn't meant for him. Like that's not her type. Like she was glamorized by the thought of him, but once she got to, she didn't really get to know him. But
didn't.
That's the whole point of the movie. Life isn't what you plan it, what you expect it to be. That's what her dad used to tell her. Like he always used to tell me, life isn't what you expect it to be, and it wasn't. He wasn't who he expected to be. He wasn't what she expected him to be.
I see. She wasn't. But, decent movie.
Decent. It's fantastic. Don't forget to rate, like, comment, subscribe, review, opinions.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your mother. Tell your daughter.
Tell your sister and your brother.
Tell your cousins. Don't forget. Okay, well, it's been real.
It's been real.
It's been fun. It's been real fun.
Yeah.
Catch you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.